What is happening, everybody? I hope you've had a good...
Back in like 2005, something like that.
I think my first con was so good. It's Friday Junior.
It's Friday Junior, it's podcast day, it's payday.
And when you come out doing a like, doesn't matter how you feel about the situation.
My name is Raff, and always before we start the podcast, because we just want to talk about it. We want to talk about music and just share those stories and experience. This is my co-host, Carl, aka the BeerBuddy. He is hailing you.
This sort of weird era where they're sort of right in that post-grunge.
Look, you're fighting the good fight in today's world. My war was fought 40 years ago, really.
We are the two dudes who talk music, and we are here. Hey, I'm too quick on that air horn button, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, that is amazing. I love it. Your second of it, dude. Fantastic.
How you going, all you amazing people? Welcome back to the Two Dudes Talk Music channel. I am your Reverend Raff. This here is the BeerBuddy Kyle. We are the Two Dudes Who Talk Music, and we are here today with another podcast episode for you. Before we dive into that, if you have good time with us today, it'd mean a lot if you'd consider hitting that subscribe button down there. We really appreciate the love and support. It goes a long way. But we are here today continuing our series on Metal to the Max.
Like another succulent Chinese meal.
Like another succulent Chinese meal. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He's eating succulent Chinese meals with God now.
Yeah, all the freebies you want, brother.
And all the penis touching or not, whichever you prefer. Yep. Rest in peace to the Aussie legend. Aussie icon, really. He just...
It's weird. Realistically, he was like the hot girl before the hot girl was, he was like the ultimate meme.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what's crazy? What's really, really crazy? We're talking to the people I work with about it.
Yeah.
One of the guys in my team, his friend's dad is one of the cops in the video.
Oh no, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Was he I wonder if he's the one that knew his judo well.
I don't know, the one with the moustache. The one with the moustache up towards the back.
Yes, that's great. There you go.
How you been, mate? How you been?
Man, I'm good. Ready. Just ready.
Yep.
So ready, man.
Yep. This is getting pretty close now. It's coming up. I mean, when this episode goes live, I think it's going to be, 4 weeks?
Yeah, man.
4 or 5 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to do the maths because we're like a few ahead now. So I've just got to try and keep in mind, even though it's like 2 months until the actual event, by the time this episode drops, it's only going to be 1 month. Don't wait. It is. Don't wait. But no, man.
And if any of the lovely people from the reaction videos is finally coming across to check out what we do on this long form path, welcome.
Yes. Welcome. Obviously, our reaction videos have kind of blown up a bit recently. We've had a lot of new friends, new subscribers, new faces coming along, which is amazing. You guys are so great. Thank you so much. We're absolutely floored by the response.
We are.
The fact that you guys enjoy those videos that we've done so much, and you are just as excited about the music as we are, and you're engaging in comments. I mean, there's people on some of these videos leaving like bloody novels as comments about to give us history and context about the bands and stuff like that. And we love that so much. Like we, discovering new music and finding and enjoying new songs and new releases from the bands that we already are aware of, and sharing that real and raw in the moment, and that, reaction and review and analysis with you guys. Yeah. I mean, these are the kind of conversations that we would be having about this stuff, even if no one else was watching. So it's just it's a nice, like, we enjoy doing it. And the fact that you guys enjoy sharing that with us as well is really, really cool. Like, so thank you. Well, big welcome to all the new subscribers. Like we said, if you have a good time and you like all this stuff, like we got so many podcast episodes with so many incredible Aussie bands. Like if you're one of these people that are watching us from the US, Japan, India, wherever you are watching us from all over the world, massive shout outs. But also, we mainly interview Australian bands for the podcast. So there is a whole back catalogue of Aussie bands that you can go and check out from all the podcast episodes. And we highly, highly recommend it because there's a lot of talent in the Aussie music scene. That, just as we, have had blind spots from some of these amazing bands that you guys have brought to our attention recently. So too, I'm sure you guys have blind spots for your own music tastes. Nobody knows every single band that's ever existed. So, go and check out some of the bands, including today's guest. Guests that are also playing at the Metal to the Max Festival, which is coming up October 5th and 6th. That's the long weekend for those who maybe haven't put those two bits of data together yet. It is the October long weekend out at the Mad Max 2 compound in Silverton, which is near Broken Hill. If you're not sure where Broken Hill is, it's quite close to the New South Wales, South Australia border. It is right in the middle of nowhere, so it's quite the travel, but highly, highly worth it for an event of this caliber. Tickets are moving, so get them. If there's any left by the time this video goes up, don't wait. They will be running out, I'm sure. You get the camping tickets, get you a 2-day camping spot, or 3 days technically, because you can set up on the Friday night, and then you've got the Saturday and Sunday nights as well. Unpowered sites only, so make sure you're factoring that in. You don't want to show up and expecting power and not having it. But there will be food trucks provided. It's BYO booze, so just keep that in mind. It is a minor, like an all ages event, but minors do have to be accompanied by an adult. So do keep that in mind. But it's a great thing to bring the whole family if you want to do that. You want to share an experience like this with your children. It's going to be an incredible time. We are going to be out there interviewing the bands, interviewing the punters, just having a grand old time ourselves, checking the whole place out. And if you've already got your tickets and you are going to be heading out there, don't forget to support the local businesses while you're there. Okay. While this is taking place at the Mad Max compound, there is a Mad Max museum out there. Make a point of heading out there to the museum and trying to check that out. Support the local businesses for your breakfasts and lunches and dinners. Head into Broken Hill. There's a ton of great businesses out there. Towns like this rely on a tourist trade. So don't just go out there for the festival and stay in the festival grounds the whole time. Go out into Silverton, head into Broken Hill, and have yourself a grand old time across the long weekend, because it is going to be a wild, wild time. We're going to have links to everything down in the description. There's even a Spotify playlist with all the bands on it, or most of the bands, so you can listen to what you're going to be getting into. And it just, like 30 bands in total across the weekend. It's going to be great. It's going to be a hell of a time. And as I mentioned, our guests today are also playing this festival. They're also part of it. Now, this is a band that we have had on before, but it was a little while ago. It was probably almost 2 years ago now, I think. It was late 2022 that we had these guys on.
Would have been one of our sort of our first kind of handful of
one of our earlier ones. One of our earlier ones. So really excited to get these guys back on and see what they've been up to. We are going to jump now to our interview or our discussion with Antonamasia. Let's get to it. A big warm welcome to our good friends in Antonamasia. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really, really appreciate that. Loving the setup. It's all like nice and we were saying before we started recording, the color coordination is just like immaculate, and it looks like you got everything together in a way more than we do. So that's loving that. But so you guys are obviously playing at Metal to the Max Festival coming up in October on the long weekend there. First of all, like, how excited are you guys for this show?
I'm way too
super
excited.
excited. Great.
I'm excited about the whole thing, the trip, the food, the Mad Max stuff. Man, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We have
Great.
replica Mad Max paraphernalia in our house.
I'm that excited. I put together a costume.
Love it. You're not the first person to tell us that. You're not the first band member to tell us that.
It's so wild. It's fucking awesome. And I'm wearing it both days.
it's got to stang.
It is going to stay.
It's got to stang. Man, I can't. Look, we're so pumped for it too. I mean, you were the one that put us onto it. Like, you're the reason why we are doing this. So I can't thank you enough. Like,
Aw.
as soon as you guys were talking about it, it pricked my ears up. I hit Raff up straight away because Raff's the email man and can articulate things in words on computers where I can't. And I'm just like, we got to try and get on this. And when he heard the idea, he was just as excited as I was.
That's
We're
awesome.
so
Very cool.
excited.
It's hopefully this is the beginning of something that's going to happen, hopefully every year. But just the venue, it being out in the middle of nowhere, like it reminds me of that Blackened Air Festival that they do in Northern Territory. And man, I always wanted to be a part of that. And now that that this is happening and we're on day like the first one ever, I'm just excited. I'm too excited.
It is pretty special. I think too, like Ash of Lead Heavy and like Firestorm, they're sort of friends of ours. We kind of have gotten close like over quite a while now, but it just really meant a lot to us as well to be involved in this, especially for Sam, who loved. It was one of the first things I remembered about him when I met him, that he loved Mad Max. But though I just think it's, building these kinds of things with people that you trust and people that you work well with and you enjoy their company, enjoy their music. Like, they're so good at doing that, very sociable people. So we're very excited to get involved.
I mean, yeah, as soon as Kyle mentioned the idea to me, it was, like, I was just like, that is genius, number one. And yeah, two, like, we had to be a part of it, like as soon as we got talking about it and, when we hit up, we hit up Lead Heavy Promotions and we're like, hey, look, we'd love to cover it. Like, we want to, initially it was just, hey, we want to cover it and interview all the bands in the lead up to it to help promote the event because we think it's a great idea. Ash got back to us right away and was just like, yeah, look, sounds like a great idea. Do you guys want like a couple of tickets so you can come out and cover the event and everything as well? We were like, I mean, yeah, if you'll have us out there, like, let's see if we can make that work. And it was a case of kind of say yes and then figure it out later.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, we're getting we got a marquee there. We're allowed to put a marquee there and try and set up for the whole day. And we've basically got free run of creative ability now.
Yeah, well, whatever we want to cover, we can do. Like, it's going to have so, I mean, and, we just talked to Ash last week. So the episode that's coming out, I think it's a couple of episodes before this one because things are a little bit out of order, but last week we recorded the episode with him, and his enthusiasm is infectious. And the fact that this is an idea that in some way, shape, or form goes back like 20 plus years is amazing. He got talking to us about like some of the production stuff they're doing. Like, the stage is going to be huge, like so big that a lot of bands are not going to know what to do with the space. Like, there's a lot of bands that are like, if bands don't know how to use the space available to them, they are going to look very, 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 very small on this stage, is what I'm saying.
Especially if you're already really short.
Mate, you're going to command that stage. You always do. But all I can just see is like a Will Ferrell thing. It's just like so much room for activities.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a waiting game right now.
There's going to be room to swing several cats and then still have a free space, I think. So, yeah, look, we are just so pumped.
We're going to have a guitar with a flamethrower attached to it.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah, mate.
As long as you're not pointing it at anyone or any of the setup, I'm sure something will be fine. Just watch out for the drone, okay? That's all we ask. Just watch out for the drone.
I'm more worried if I just hear anyone say, "Witness me!"
Yes.
Start probing themselves. I'm like, okay, we've hit that point.
Wow. Like, I think someone actually released like a spray like that's actually like non-toxic that you can use.
Oh wow!
For that stuff.
Like that. I'm
Like
going.
Chrome to spray into my face.
I'm going for the legit chrome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Go authentic. Real mode.
Just wait till after you've played so that you don't like pass out from the fumes or anything, you know? So much like us, you guys are going to be making the trip out there, the long drive out for that one. I understand that you guys have got a van that you've organized for it, and there's a bit of a thing happening around that. So why don't you hit us with the details around that? And
So get in front of the camera. Get right in front of the camera.
Hit your script for that one.
Sit down. Get comfortable.
Like closed captions for the screen.
Right. Road Warriors. I'm reading a script, all right? This October 5th and 6th, Lead Heavy Promotions presents Metal to the Max Festival. Live from the Mad Max compound in Silverton. This camp-out heavy metal extravaganza showcases a stacked lineup, 29 bands strong, featuring heavy hitters like yours truly, Antonamasia. Hidden Intent, Flaming Wreckage, Orpheus Omega, Firestorm, Harlot, Darker Half, and Witchgrinder, just to name a few. We will undeniably shake the foundations of the Silverton wasteland. Antonamasia are excited to announce that together with our lovely family Pal Studios, that we're offering the first 15 Sydney-siders that complete this entry form that will be up on all of our socials. And if they possess Metal to the Max tickets, we're giving them the opportunity to come along on this Fury Road trip aboard our tour bus, the Night Rider, to the Silverton Mad Max compound and back with us absolutely free. The Night Rider will depart from Campbelltown Station Thursday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. and aim to arrive at the compound around 2 to 4 p.m. Friday, October 4th, just in time to access the festival grounds and make yourselves at home. The Night Rider will leave Silverton an hour or so after the festival on Sunday night and deliver everyone back to Campbelltown Station Monday afternoon, October 7th. More details will be communicated to the lucky winners after they're announced. All you have to do to enter is upload proof of purchase to your Metal to the Max ticket, along with your name and contact details for your chance to embark on this epic journey. Get in fast. The entries will be open when this comes out, and hopefully way before, and close September 8th. Winners will be announced September 15th. T's and C's apply.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
All you got to do is have your ticket purchased, send in the deets, and you're on. You're on like Donkey Kong, and you could be getting a free ride. Terms and conditions apply. And make sure you go check out their socials for all those terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to make it a hell of a lot easier for you to get there and back. If you're interested in going, but you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to get back. If you're in Sydney, that's the one. Get on that.
Yeah, and if you were, mate, if your car's a bit sketchy and you haven't bought your ticket because your car's a bit sketchy and you can't make it, grab your ticket and there you can go. Mm-hmm. If you win, winners are grinners. We'll make sure that comes out ASAP.
A couple of extra things, just so everyone knows, we've got professional drivers that are driving the vans. There's going to be two. There's one for the competition winners, and there'll be a smaller van that's just taking the band in our gear. We'll travel together in convoy type fashion. We invite any bands from Sydney that are making the trek on the road to meet with us and travel with us, so we can all watch each other's back throughout the drive. Basically, we want to get there in the safest, most pleasant way possible. And we're just trying to make, a safe environment for us to travel, have fun, and, get to and from this event.
Make a few memories.
Well, it takes a lot of things out of the equation, like you don't have to worry about, hey, if you accidentally have too many drinks because you're not going to be driving, you don't have to, you can accidentally have too many drinks, you know what I mean? Like just all those little bits and pieces, as long as you, respectful to the people around you, you competition winners.
Mm. Yeah. And I mean, I think we're going to be heading off ourselves from Cobbity at like kind of midnight-ish Friday morning, and heading out that way. We're going to try and catch a few Z's and then take off from there.
Yeah.
But
The plan is get over the mountains just before the sun comes up. I want to stop because that's when all the roos will be out for about 2 or 3 hours. I want to stop for that 2 or 3 hours and just have a big relax and then start again once the roos calm down. And then by then, we should make it into Silverton before the roos kick back off again, which is about, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
yeah, but
So
what we'll
we're just
do,
trying to miss all that stuff.
we'll make sure we keep in touch with you guys and see where y'all are at. So if we catch up or if we get kind of near anything, we'll definitely join that convoy if we can catch up to where you guys are at. But look, yeah, that's a great idea. If there is any bands that are looking to do the drive out there and heading out and are thinking of taking off at similar times, it's a great idea. If you can convoy out together, you can cover each other's asses, you can look out for each other. Makes the whole trip a lot better and a lot easier across the board.
Oh, I can
if
already
someone
see
runs
the
into
memes.
if someone runs into any mechanical trouble, you're going to have people there that can get you to places and back if you need, and all sorts of stuff. So even if you're not traveling with these guys, if you've got another band from a similar area and you can travel out together, it 100% is worthwhile.
Yeah, man.
Send out like a live sort of update whenever we stop or something like that, or if people are along the way, we can say hi and stuff and see them out on the road. Also,
Yep.
was anyone else just thinking convoy in their head?
Yep.
We got a great big convoy. Ain't she a beautiful sight?
We got a great big convoy. Ain't she a beautiful sight? Convoy.
Yeah.
That's a big 10-4 rubber ducky.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Like, we just got told there's going to be like fire spinners and like it's going to be a time.
It is.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
going to be the best backyard party out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Like
It's gonna be
I'm tossing up what if I'm going to have room to bring costume stuff, because with having to fly from Brisbane to Sydney before I do the second leg of it, it's space is going to be limited, and with how much stuff I got to already bring. But if I can,
Wear it. Yeah.
I'll have to wear it on the plane. Yeah, look,
Wearing it on the way and telling you that.
something tells me they won't be okay with me wearing that on the plane. They might take issue with it. I'm just saying. I can see that becoming a little bit of a point of contention with some of the other passengers.
Well, mate, like I said, we're going to keep telling everyone in these next lot of podcasts. If you see it, we're going to be coming around to the campsite, and we want to see setups. And you never know, the Two Dudes Talk Music might have a little bit of a sneaky deaky prize to give away to the best campsite. For the best setup. I want to see, like, when you go to Bathurst and stuff like that, and they have all those really fire setups and stuff, they glamp and shit. I want to see some of that stuff going on. I want to see some creativities.
Yeah.
My brother was going to come and bring his, he's got this crazy trailer that sets up and is like a 3-bedroom bloody putting it there with
like
a
a
TV
yeah.
that pops out of the table in there. And,
See, that's my idea of camping. That's my idea of camping. I'm not.
so
Yeah.
we were like,
I'm not going to go into anyone's look. If you got a trailer, if you got a whatever, I want to see some creativity in there. I want to see,
But yeah, I think that might be something that we're gonna look at doing. We might sort out, I don't know, some JB gift cards or something for like best costume and best campsite. So have one for each or something. If that's something that people might be, if it's gonna be a few people dressing up, maybe we do that. What do you reckon, Kyle?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Awesome.
We'd be stupid not to.
Awesome. That sounds like a good idea.
You got to reward the creativity, otherwise people just won't want to get involved.
Yep.
yes.
Definitely. Is there any? Obviously, there's a lot of bands on this lineup. Is there any bands in particular that you guys are looking forward to seeing or playing with that you maybe haven't had the the opportunity to work with before, or bands that you maybe haven't been able to see before that you're really excited to catch?
I want to wear that teddy bear head from Those Left Behind.
Yes. Is it Those Left Behind or Suffer the Avenue, whichever?
No, suffer the Avenue.
Yeah.
I'm going for that teddy bear head.
You're gonna have to fight me for it, mate.
Oh, you're getting the camera then, Raff. You get the camera during that set. I'll sit in the tent for that one.
But yeah, them. I can't wait to see Witch Grinder.
Mm.
You know, nothing but awesome stuff about their show.
They're always great. Like they are probably like one of the Travis puts so much into the live show every single time, and he's always thinking of new things to do with it, new ways to improve the experience. I've played shows with them and seen them at a bunch of shows over my time with Tensions Arise and Acid Nymph. I think I can distinctly remember a show in Canberra at the basement where they brought their own pyro. So this is like a perfect excuse for them to break that out again.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, to be honest, we probably haven't played with a lot of the bands that are on the lineup, but that's part of what makes it so cool that, we really get to interact and just, do what we love to do together throughout 3 days. It's
I'm keen to see Orpheus Omega again. We played them at Shark Fest and they just blew me away.
Yeah.
They were really, really good.
Been hearing a lot of good things about them too.
Oh mate, yeah, you wait till you
so tight. It's like so much like I felt like everything they did during their set seemed intentional. It seemed really well executed, and they're just very talented musicians. So it was just a pleasure to watch them, honestly.
And cool guys.
Yeah. And then there's always the Mighty Firestorm.
Yeah.
Our boys.
Yeah, boys.
Our boys.
I was lucky enough to be able to be invited to be a part of the staff when they toured with Unleash the Archers. I got to pretty much drum tech for Ash for the Canberra show and the Sydney show. Man, awesome! Those guys, they killed it.
Like it's just I'm just loving the event because every band that we've talked to is so excited.
Yeah.
Every band's got something special planned. Every band is like, they recognize what this is. They want to make it their biggest and best show of the year in every way that they can, which is, I mean, a cynical person would say that you should try that for every show, but you understand what I mean, right? Like this is a unique event. It's going to have a lot of eyes on it. And if it goes really, really well, there's huge potential for next year. I know when we were talking to Ash about it, he was saying that for the most part, he wants to try and avoid repeat bands if it happens again next year, which I think is a great idea. I literally had said that in previous discussions about it. I was like, I would love to see it be like a no repeat thing. So you got 30 bands this year, and next year you've got like basically, 25 to 30 completely new bands to really like just make it something really, really different again, and give another group of bands an amazing opportunity for an event like this. Every band we've spoken to recognizes the potential that an event like this holds if it gains traction and starts to be a recurring thing. So yeah, the excitement is real. Every week that we get closer is more and more hype. I am just so ready for this thing. And I can't wait.
Such a big opportunity. You guys must be stoked you're on the first day too, because you can just sort of shoot. Yeah, you get to just relax and chill out.
You can party on the next day.
Party all weekend. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, just a little nervous about the whole, red dust in the throat thing.
Oh, it's all part of the experience.
Also, totally keen to experience.
Oh, look.
Hopefully that would turn into cement at some point of being dehydrated.
Look, you know what? In all honesty, just have a cup up there and just hock them up, mate. If you got to do it to get it.
That's why that's why you wear a mask until you go on stage. Like it's
Well, that must be why they do it. Right? They do it in the movie.
But no, you man, you kill it. You always do. You're been in the game for long enough now. You know exactly what you're doing. This is just it's another story. It's another chapter in the chapter in the long story that is Antonamasia, which is amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, just the scene down in Broken Hill and around that area is so good. We got lucky enough
Falling
to
in
play
love
there
with the
last year.
country. Yeah.
Yeah, so like last year in May we went down, and it was an invitation from Firestorm as well. I think that's the first time we played with them, right?
That's right. That's when we met. That's when we met them, man.
Yeah, at the Broken Hill pub, and it was just such a good event. We played with actually a Victoria K from Sydney as well. No, sorry, they're from Vic. Mount, yeah. So yeah, overall, just the vibe down there is so good. So apart from the awesome lineup, I think just the local kind of attendance is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, well, it's already a vibe before the thing started. It's at the Mad Max 2 compound, so it's already the vibe's already set up. It's just going to be up to every single band just to really knock it out of the park on this one. Because we want to be out there filming some really good stuff because we know the quality of every single band that's on this thing, and we want to present it to our now growing audience. And it's just we want to make sure that everyone sees this because this is special. Special at every single band that has this opportunity to play on the very, very first one. It's just and
that's it. Awesome. And for the people that are attending, right? I think there's a definite appeal for this. This is potentially the start of something really, really special. And I know that. Like I said, I know Ash wants to push it and try and make it a regular thing. I know all the bands involved would love to see it become a regular thing. We want to see it become a regular thing. So with so many people behind it and pushing the idea, I think there is a real chance for it to become something very special and recurring. And like we said, there's a playlist going to be linked in the description that's got all the bands on it, so you can see what's going on. But I think it has the potential to become more than just a music, like a gig. It's like cultural festival, right? Like putting in the people that just love the Mad Max stuff. I think you're going to see them coming to it as like a way to come there regularly and enjoy that. And you can have those kind of elements attached to it. And, building into, I can see people coming and having stalls where they're selling their handmade art and products and stuff and things like that. It really becoming a festival proper for, Australian metal being part of it, but also for that region and the culture of that region as well being celebrated at the same time, which is just it's so important to embrace these things when they come up because. And something else actually that I want to sort of reiterate, when we had Ash on last week, he said, or the other week we were talking to him, he made a comment. Some people have sort of been in the comments of posts about it going like, oh, where's the international bands? Yeah. And he made the very, very valid comment that quite a number of the bands on this lineup have toured internationally. So they are international bands. They're just from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're for Christ's sake, it's being headlined on the second day by Darker Half, who have, for however long now have been touring, America and Europe, all over the world doing this shit. And then, like I said, they're not the only band that's played and toured internationally on this lineup. So there's international bands on the lineup, guys. It's how it is.
It's just
unfortunately.
How do you get that sense of entitlement? Here's an event you didn't organise. Why isn't it the way I wanted it to be?
Go ahead, do it. You need.
Heard of it's an event called Wasteland. I think it's in the States. It's a Mad Max fan community that get together every year and do stuff that what you were saying, Raff, about they get together and they collect bottle caps as their currency and they pay for handmade art and stuff like that. They dress like the compound that they're a part of is set up like Mad Max, and they're all done up like the Witness Me guys. And
wow,
been member since 1997.
There's tribes that form in there, and you can barter, but there's no music. It's just a Mad Max themed sort of get together over the weekend, and they've got no idea that this is happening. And I thought how awesome would it be if one, they found out about this and then the next time,
that's it. There's potential.
That's it.
There's potential for
thousands to travel from all over the world to go to that event.
Yeah.
This thing. If they found out that,
Yeah.
Metal to the Max was happening.
Yeah. Well, that's what we want. Like, I'd love to see that. I like, this is the kind of thing that it seems, in some ways, it seems silly to compare it to something like Wacken, but
Yeah.
realistically, Wacken started somewhere.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
how do you reckon Wacken started? It's still done on the same farm that it
Like,
started in. Some dude just goes, I can't play metal anywhere. Can I play some on your farm?
Yeah.
like, so doing an event like this, genuinely, like, you could see every year people from all over the world, making their way to, this remote corner of Australia that has quite a bit of cultural significance, given that the films were some of the early films were shot out there. Even a lot of the, I think, stuff for Furiosa was shot out that way as well. So it's not just from 40 years ago that this stuff happened. It's like, it's being utilized for the same franchise even now in the modern day, which is amazing, by the way. I love that so much. So it's like, I can see it growing and having appeal for international visitors. If not international bands, then I still think it'll get international visitors. If it happens for a couple more years, you'll probably start that happening. And well, look, if there's anyone that's involved in the like that Wasteland event in the US, or those communities that are around that stuff, like, share the hell out of Metal to the Max. Share the hell out of it. Get on it.
Like, let's get those posts and put it on their wasteland.
Maybe they'll invite us all over there to go cover it and get some Aussie bands on there. They'll just pick up the idea and run with it. That'd be great.
Definitely be, I think, the icing on the cake if they got to attend an event where it was actually filmed.
Mel Gibson, if you're watching.
No.
Mel Gibson, Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron. We'll try and get them all out there, sure.
That's it.
Get out of here.
I reckon Tom Hardy would be down.
He seems like he'd be right for it.
I reckon Tom Hardy would be down. Maybe even
We would love to have him.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be fair, that is one of my men, him and Chino. Tom Hardy and Chino.
Yeah. We'll make space in the car for you, Tom.
Yeah. In the boot. You're never going home.
Or for you guys.
So, look, while I'm sure, I know Kyle's obviously, been around and I'm sure has seen you guys quite a few times in the couple of years since we had you on last.
It's been great.
For those that may not have kept up with you guys, what are you guys have been up to over the last couple of years? Is there, show wise, music wise, what's been happening in the camp of Antonamasia?
So much.
Yeah.
So much. But like, some we can tell you, some we can't.
That's always good. We like hearing that though. No, stuff you can't tell us means you've got stuff in the works. It's good.
Yes. I think one of the coolest things about this recent time for us has just been, finding a new groove that we're like just functioning really well in. It's something that's kind of shaping our style a little differently, which we're loving. We're exploring different things. We're trying new things. But yeah, writing has been amazing. Like, it's been awesome. It's been really, really fluid, and things just coming out and just coming together, and it's been awesome. That's been probably my favorite part, I think, for us Yeah,
it's been really good just to reconnect with the scene again and, play a whole bunch of really cool shows in the process of it with, new music. It's been quite a long time since we've written new songs as the original lineup. So just the whole high of doing that and then playing it with a whole bunch of other talented bands has been really, really good. And that's leading into, what we're doing next, which is we're kind of putting our heads down to a somewhat of a degree and to finish this new release that we're working on. And then really the back end of the year is kind of just full steam ahead, getting that done, kind of reworking our live show, doing something a bit different. And then, hitting the scene again with like a brand new kind of release, brand new outlook.
Because I did notice you guys went you got the whole new photo shoot done recently, and it's a nice little upgrading promotion and stuff like that. You're looking all very sharp.
By the wonderful Phil and Kim from Power Studios. They are probably more like family at this point. They can't get rid of us, even if they wanted to. No, but seriously, they are incredible at what they do. Husband and wife team, and they just make everything fun and easy. They're really innovative with the things that they try. It's just, and it usually just works. It's awesome. They're so much fun to work with.
It's where we are now. This is our rehearsal studio at Pal Media. So,
Yep.
That's nice. Where are they at?
home away from home.
Where are they at?
That's in Narellan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very close to the Ramadan.
Very close to Ramadan.
Oh, didn't even know we had rehearsal studios around here because I don't need to rehearse shit.
So I want to give props to you guys because I constantly see on the Antonamasia page you guys sharing stuff from a lot of other bands. Like you guys you put so much support into the scene, the Aussie music scene in general, but also like celebrating the achievements of other bands as well, which is something that I don't think enough bands do. And that's not to say that like necessarily everyone needs to be out here sharing everyone else's shit, right? But I think it's something that like because you guys would have seen the changes in like the Sydney metal scene over the sort of from the early 2000s through to now, and like when it went through like the kind of that real hype stage in the 2000s into sort of the I guess the dip in the 2010s when everyone kind of got a bit selfish and a little bit more a lot of bands got a bit protective of their spot, and we can't support anyone else or we can't help anyone else because that'll put us in jeopardy, kind of thing. And especially when the music scene has gone through such a rough period of everything with COVID as well. It really is awesome to see a band that's engaging in that sort of behavior and that is actively supporting the achievements of other bands, milestones of other bands, because that's how, like, that sort of approach is how the scene grows and becomes healthy. So I absolutely wanted to give you guys props for that. And also, sharing our shit sometimes too, which is great.
Yeah, we love that.
No, I honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's every other week now. Like we're, scrolling through something and one of us will be like, oh, hey, did you see that, such and such got, it's just exciting. Like we're really proud when we see, especially people that we know have been working so hard and smashing practice, smashing shows, writing, release, videos, like pushing so hard, and they're getting to the places that they've been working for and beyond, so it's so cool. Like Victoria Kay, for example, young, incredibly talented woman, very, very, very beautiful, sweet person. But they have been working hard for a while now and just pushing and pushing and pushing next level sort of, like kind of production and shows, and like obviously her voice is just incredible. But when you see that and that you've witnessed the work and you've talked to them and they're good people, they go to the shows that they are playing and they watch the bands that they play with. You know what I mean? They stay, like they engage, they want to help, they support. Like we're always wanting to celebrate stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because that's what makes us happy too. Life is like that. Sam's very much one of those people that is just, whatever it is, let me in. I want to help. I want to do something. I want to be involved. I want to, you know what I mean? Like just because it is, not just a community, which is really important, but there's like, we're building relationships,
We love this shit, you know what I mean? It's awesome. And everything that everyone else is doing out there is awesome. So getting, if we can help by sharing it and getting eyeballs on it, fuck yeah,
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like everyone complains that there's no scene, but if you share the stuff around, and you support everyone, then you create a scene, and then the scene thrives. And if the
Well,
scene thrives, then there is a big scene, and the scene grows. And
That's it. I think people just need to go outside more.
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Just like at all. You know what I mean? They'll see those.
yeah,
But it's
yeah, yeah. There's no scene.
Yeah, that's right.
And never go out.
neck metaphor into a street sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but, you know, like it's one of the things that I've loved up here since being able to get out a bit more and the relaxing of various restrictions over the last couple of years from COVID stuff up this way, you know, the young bands coming up, but also the established bands that I just had no idea about because they just weren't on my radar. And it's seeing bands that are in those early, you know, those early years, those first few years of their sort of career playing live and figuring out how they're going to approach things. And then once they start to get the rhythm, I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, you know, there's a band up this way called Acid Cherry, and they are like genuinely have the potential to become like a very, very big fucking deal.
Mm.
Like I you know, I'm not trying to overstate it or like whatever, but like I genuinely think that if they keep at it, you know, they really do have the potential to become a band that is, you know, known Australia-wide and potentially internationally, because they've got it. Like they've got the work ethic, they've got the great tunes, they've got the energy, you know, they've got the whole package. And you know, but then also as well, like, you know, seeing bands that have just been kicking around up here for a while and haven't really gone outside of the Queensland bubble, to any other parts of Australia that I you know, that I'm like, man, y'all need to get down to Sydney and Melbourne and all these other places. Like, you would absolutely kill down there.
Yeah.
You know,
in the States where it's at, man.
Like, and you kind of have to. You have to these days, as much as it sucks with the expense and the hours that come with that travel. Like, you know, you need to expand outside of that market.
You do,
and you know, you just got to it's making the connections, I guess, is the key part.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You play one or two shows, and you're nice. You're not going to have an issue.
You know, it's the weird thing that I kept saying, and this is probably going to sound strange, but whatever. But whenever we would play a show, especially like an interstate show, I'd be like, man, everyone is so nice. Everybody was so lovely and like accommodating. And it's not that it's not like that in Sydney, but it's like, why does it stand out so much? Like, I think it's just because like literally everyone there, like we played the Old Bank Hotel recently in Dubbo. Oh, that was like Mirror Shield.
Ah, yeah.
Honestly, it was such a surprise that it was such a killer venue, and just like the sound was amazing. Tex was a sound engineer there, amazing. Like, just I could hear better with my earplugs out. It was easy, like so good. But those kinds of places are like where we're finding this incredible scene that it doesn't seem to acknowledge itself as a scene, but it's just people of all ages that just love music, want to be a part of it and want to watch. And they may not have even gone there to watch the show, but they're, you know, this guy was in his 60s, he's bought a ticket, walked in, he's like, oh, yeah, you guys are all right. You know, like, you know, like it's it's very different from here, you know?
Well, I think part of that comes from the fact that they are just generally smaller communities than Sydney. Like, and this is, I guess, one of the biggest drawbacks of Sydney and Melbourne being the sizes that they are is, you know, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, but especially for, you know, heavy and alternative music, there's still very, very limited space for those bands. And, you know, the Sydney scene has had a lot of issues with like lockout laws, and that's affected venues. And then obviously COVID, once the lockout laws got relaxed, kind of COVID came around and punched everything in the dick. And it's, yeah. And it's like really, you know, like that's obviously done a lot of damage to what is able to happen in Sydney. And I think as well, just with their, you know, up around Brisbane, like Brisbane's population is, I think, about a quarter of Sydney's, right? And yeah, when we're talking like the wider area kind of thing. And, you know, like I'll go to shows up here and I'm seeing, you know, the same people at all of the shows. And I can go to pretty much, you know, I've only been up here a few years, but I can go to pretty much any show and I'll probably run into somebody that I know. And there is a lot of support when you've got those smaller communities. Like you say, I mean, you know, people, especially in you know, towns like Dubbo that are a bit more regional as well, you start getting out there, you know, and even going out further to somewhere like Broken Hill or Silverton, right? It's like people want something. They want any whatever's on. They want there to be, you know, there's something on. I'll go and check that out because it's something on, and that's, you know, meant, I think, in some ways a bit more of an open mind about some of these things from people, and they're like, okay, like something exciting's happening. People are excited. People in my community are excited about this thing, so maybe I can get excited about it too, and I'll check it out.
I think they've tapped into putting it as an all ages thing where you can bring the kids as well. So a lot of the people in the general community will probably be more inclined to buy a ticket if they have the kid, you know, the right age, and go, all right, I'll come down with you and go check it out.
Yeah. So you know, I think there's just, but you're right. Like when as you know, when Tensions Arise to play interstate, it was always, you know, a different vibe. And I guess maybe it's partly because it's a novel vibe, like it's not your normal scene, so it just feels a bit exciting and different from that way. You're excited to be touring, you're excited to be on the road, playing somewhere different to what you normally do. So I'm sure that factors into it to a degree as well. But you know, it can definitely feel a bit of sameness if you're just playing to a lot of the same faces and a lot of the same people over and over again, right? And this is what we crave. Like, we crave being like sharing our stuff with new people and seeing new people get excited over it again. And it's not to say that we don't appreciate the fans that you've got, because obviously you do. Like, they're just as important as the new fans. But, you know, like, you want to have that new experience. You want new people to have that experience of you guys, because obviously, you know, you're up there putting yourselves out for people. You enjoy what you're doing, so it's reasonable to think that other people will as well. And, you know, for a band, you guys want to share your music with as many people as possible. And for something like what we're doing, like we want to help that happen, and we want to share our stuff with as many people as possible, just in the same way, right? It's about finding that, you know, there's a community out there. You just got to find it. And unfortunately for Australia, we're so scattered and spread out, it just becomes a lot harder than in certain other regions of the world. But, you know, I'd be very curious to talk to some Brizzy bands and see if they feel the same way when they travel down to Sydney. If they get that, if they, you know what I mean? Like, if they feel like going to other states is like the novel experience, and Brisbane is, you know, like, might have to start asking some of them that, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it like did you at least were friends with the bands that you used to go and play shows with in the state and stuff like that? Because that's half the thing. It's like a lot of these bands now have been down here once or twice, and they've got friends and like bandmates and stuff, like the friends from other bands and stuff like that. So it sort of just pumps everyone up as soon as before they even get down here. Do you know what I mean? So they know they're coming down here. They know they're going to have a mad time because that person might be at that one person might be at that show, and you're just gonna kick it.
But it's a lot to do with what you said, Raff. It's a novelty of like a whole new scene, new venues, new people, you know, new people to get your music out in front of. So we definitely felt that.
Although, with that said, I don't think I ever got tired of playing in Canberra.
Yeah.
Like, went down to Canberra and played a ton of times over the years with both Tensions Arise and Acid Nymph, and I don't think I ever got tired of playing in Canberra.
It was always different every time we went down there, though. It always felt different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like it was half your home away from home because you had to travel just far enough to get out there, but you played there often enough where sort of you knew good handful of people down there.
Well, a full disclosure. I think part of the reason that I liked playing to Canberra and the reason I would go down there for gigs, even if I wasn't playing, is because of that. It's because I knew so many people that, I could go down. Like I usually didn't have to pay for a hotel. So I'm like, cool. All I'm out is the ticket price for the event and my petrol. But like I was down there, I was in Canberra so much at one point, someone told me they thought I'd moved there. Right. I was at Canberra shows so much, someone thought I'd moved there. But like, I think, look, this is going to make me sound really, really egotistical and probably does feed the ego a little bit with it. But part of it, I think for me was I knew so many people there, but I was not down there enough to be tied up in all the drama.
Yeah.
So like I could go down there and everyone would be like, oh yeah, how you doing? Blah, great to see you, everything. Like so many people, but I wasn't involved in all of the bullshit that was going on between people.
The special guest
That makes all the
character.
difference.
Yeah, the special guest character on the episode, right? Like,
just the weekend episode. And then you didn't have to see them the Monday to Friday, so you didn't have to worry about it.
yeah, I wasn't involved in anyone's bullshit, So you guys we've been talking a lot about Metal to the Max, everything on that October long weekend. You guys have another show coming up in late September as well, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, we do. So it's on September 28th, and it's the Battle God Productions, I think 25th anniversary. Is it? I think it's an event. It's a milestone for Battle God Productions. So this is their second Metal Fest that they're doing, and yeah, we've been lucky enough to be invited to this. So it's going to be at the Rockdale. Actually, what is the venue? Oh, I'm sorry. The Illingdon Sports Centre in Rockdale, and it's kind of like an all-day event. There's going to be like a stack of bands kind of playing.
Our friends from Decimator are playing, aren't they?
Black and Rose, good friend Asura.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of bands.
Formation. It's going to be
Oh, geez, we've had a lot of these bands on there.
Yeah, we've had quite a few of those bands on the podcast.
Awesome. I think there's 16 bands spaced out over 13 hours from 11 to 1.
Jesus.
It's going to be full on, man.
That's a marathon.
That's right. That's a 20.
That's a lot of metal.
September. The tickets are online, or you can get them at the door. They're slightly more expensive at the door, so make sure you get on there.
Get them online.
Well, if you send us a link, we'll make sure to have it in the description as well.
You can get tickets from here.
Yes.
When you put on the annotation.
Yeah. Buy tickets here.
Yeah, buy tickets there.
Right there, right?
Yeah. I got to work out how to put emojis in YouTube descriptions now. I got to figure that out. Still I'm getting there. Okay, one bit at a time. Okay, we just started putting end screens on videos now, so I'm like, I got to just. I'm like, cool. Now that I got that in the bag, what's the next step? And just the little. I'm slowly getting better.
And then while he's down here, he's going to teach me how to do it all. He's going to guide me through it, so I can bloody do shit again.
And I've been enjoying the Metal to the Max series that he's putting out.
Thank you,
man. Very cool, man.
You guys do a lot for us, as bands in the scene and stuff. Like we're always seeing you guys at gigs. We're always seeing your content. You're always sort of reaching out to to do your part to help propel another band into another opportunity, or just supporting it. Doesn't go unnoticed. It seriously does mean a lot to quite a lot of people. So
absolutely.
Thank you. I mean, look, I'll be honest, it's partly from a little bit of a selfish place, because the better the scenes do and the more fun we can have being a part of it. But we're not out here trying to be altruistic, totally altruistic, or we're only doing it for everyone else. We want to see the scene thrive, because we get a lot of enjoyment from that, because that means we get more cool gigs to go to. But
between passion and obligation,
but absolutely,
giving back to something that gave so much to us. Both Raff and myself, every single friend we have is revolved around music.
Yeah, literally, like the people, like I trace back through, my life, and basically my interest in heavy music has shaped literally the whole thing. Like if I, I wouldn't be living up here if, part of the reason I moved to Brisbane is because I had really good friends that lived up here. I met those friends through being in Acid Nymph.
Yeah.
And why was I in Acid Nymph? Well, because I saw Acid Nymph when I was part of Tensions Arise, and then when I wasn't doing anything in Tensions Arise and the opportunity came up, I went into Acid Nymph. Why was I in Tensions Arise? Because I studied music at TAFE. Why did I study music at TAFE? Because, you know what I mean? It's all traced back through this stuff, and like except for my family, pretty much every person in my life has come through because of involvement in the music scene. And also the opportunity to do the amazing things that we've done. Like having the chance to go to the US and record with Logan Mader. Like, what the fuck is even that? Like, being able to support, like Head PE, fucking Jeffrey Nothing, Soil Work, like all these fucking bands that I've been able to support and be, to open shows for, people that are, it's just, I've got so much out of it that it is, I mean, in a way it's giving back, I guess, but like.
Well, it is, man, because we give them a platform. That's the thing. Half these bands, they only need a platform. And the more work that we're doing now, especially with the reaction stuff and stuff like that, and hopefully, if all goes well and numbers work the way in theory, that they should, more people that watch the reaction content from across the world should hopefully find a new band from Australia that they like. It should all work in a secular movement in the way we're doing it. And, by giving these bands a platform, it's perfect. And hey, it keeps me in the music scene too, because I don't get to play anymore. This is my cheeky way to keep my foot in the door.
I've seen in an earlier episode, Kyle, that you said that, since you've not in a band, you've never been more involved in the music scene.
Yep. Mate, since I quit music, I've got myself so far into it now. I actually do more work now than when I was in a band.
Yeah. But that's it. Like, it's all for the love of it, right? Like we started the channel because, like, Kyle and I would be having these same conversations with each other about music that we have, regardless if there was a camera or not.
Yeah. We were saying that
And I think I just think that's really important that people, because like I said, if you don't support the scene, it's gone.
That's true.
And it's easy to, it's easy to sit there and go like, support the scene. But like, what are people actually doing about it? And I'm not saying that Kyle and I doing this YouTube channel is going to save the fucking Australian metal scene or anything like that. Not by any stretch of the imagination. We're just two schmucks with cameras in our spare rooms. But we want to contribute where we can, how we can, because, we had some great opportunities and we just want to do like what little that we can to, because if everyone was doing what little they could, the whole thing would be jumping a lot more than it is.
Everyone would be eating.
The whole thing, it's so different to go and experience the live show than to experience it however you can consume it online or with your phone or anything. When you're there, man, the atmosphere is off its head, like Cass and I went and seen a new band. The name is Devoid Altar. It's our close friend Ian's new band, Devoid Altar. And I'd heard their material. They've got a couple of singles on Spotify. Check it out. But you go and watch them play live, it hits you in the gut so much harder than listening to it on Spotify. My God. I became a doom metal fan in an instant.
Oh, wow.
In an instant. The atmosphere was crazy. But yeah,
Is it the Chippo?
it's get out there and go and see shows, people.
Yeah, I've got to get out. I've got to get out of this shit, bro.
And the thing is too, like, there's all this talk about like, oh, okay, is AI going to destroy creative industries and blah blah blah. AI can't take live performance away.
No way.
Live performance of any form, whether that's a play, musical theater, comedy, spoken word events, live music, breakdancing. If you know, you know. But it's like sporting events as well. But like live performance is, it's so special, and each one is unique. You can go to another venue and play the same songs. You can go to the same venue and play the same songs, but you're going to have a different crowd. You're going to make slightly different mistakes that night. You're going to, the energy is going to be slightly different. No two live performances are ever going to be identical. Even if you use click tracks and samples for people that want to get up their fucking ass about it, right?
Yeah.
It's always going to be different, and that's one of the things that it keeps that special. And AI is never going to be able to take that away. So that's why now, when people are sort of worried about, is AI going to take away creative industries, now is the time to support live performance of any kind.
Now's the time to turn around to tell them that no, AI won't, if you go watch a live show, because AI can't mimic you going to watch a live show.
Not yet anyway.
No.
But no, it's yeah.
That's it. Sorry. That same element of like, you can't capture what's happening in the room on a video, on a sound recording, no matter how good your equipment is, no matter what kind of technology you have in your hands. That tangible thing in the room, it doesn't translate. And I think there's a reason for that. That's an energy thing. It's a connection thing. I think one of the biggest parts of the like live music, as a punter for me, is seeing the band get through that maybe first song or like first half of the song where they're kind of getting into it, and then that thing breaks, and then that's when it's like they switch on that energy. And that's a cyclical thing that happens with bands and crowds, and that feeding off each other is it's alive, and you can't have that in any kind of mechanical context at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a great example that I can give, from my own personal experience, and it's a grand example rather than a example of a local show. But I have been a wrestling fan for a very, very long time, and I've watched a hell of a lot of WrestleManias on TV. And last year, when I went to America, going to WrestleMania was part of that trip. Nice. And I was in SoFi Stadium in LA with 80,000 people, both nights, screaming like madmen and just losing our minds, all in unison. Like being Australian, like, and being a wrestling fan, it's, the number of people that you can talk to about it face to face is slim. Because there's not that many other people, right? Yes, we'll talk a lot of wrestling at the thing, I'm sure. And hang on, let me see if I can. Hang on. I'll just to show you a couple of things. So I got this. I don't know if you watch much AEW, but I got a Dark Order TNT Championship there. I got the Zack Ryder. Or the Matt Cardona middle foam finger. Yes. I got Bray Wyatt lantern and fucking.
Oh, that's
shit.
very.
So yeah, but being around, especially for metal being such a niche thing, like we don't always get to, discuss it face to face with people that we like. You know, if depending on what your local community is like, you may not have that many other people that you can engage with face to face about something that you are that passionate about. You go to a local show, suddenly everyone's on that wavelength. You know, is the point that I'm getting at here. And when we talk about the sense of community that it brings, that's what we mean. The value in that community and that sense of belonging and being around other people that, you know, that understand you in that way. It's so important. And this is why, you know, I guess that's ultimately is the reason that we are so passionate about doing what we can do to help, you know, buoy up the scene. Like, not saying, you know, fuck knows if anyone of any importance follows. And I don't mean to say that people that follow us are not important, but what I mean is
every
people
single one of you are.
Every single one is, but I
MVPs.
mean people that have like sway in the industry in like big companies or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if anyone of that sort of ilk follows our channel and what we do, but you know, maybe one of their kids does. Maybe one of their kids sees one of our videos and they're like, oh, hey, you know, mum or dad, like this cool band that I found through this thing. And then that band gets some attention from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it just takes one time of the right person seeing your shit.
Yeah. If you're a spoiled brat of an executive, hold your breath until you make us famous. Daddy, you got to make these guys famous. I'm going to hold my breath until they do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Make Antonamasia famous.
This is a strange context.
Okay, so look, before we wrap it up there, something that we have been, now if you've seen any of our recent episodes, you probably know we have been trying to get to the bottom of a bit of a discussion recently around who is the big four of the nu metal era. Now, this is basically spawned by discussions around, obviously, you've got the big four of thrash in, like, you know, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. But that's also heavily debated. Like, there's a lot of people that think different bands should be in there instead of, you know, Anthrax or whatever. So, yeah, we're asking everybody and anybody, who is your big four of nu metal? And then we're going to tally the votes up once we get down the way and try and get some kind of a definitive answer.
For me, it'd have to be Slipknot, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones.
All right, hang on. So
Slipknot,
Slipknot, Korn, hang on,
Limp Bizkit, Deftones.
Limp Bizkit, and Deftones.
Well, I do love your Limp Bizkit. I take your Limp Bizkit and raise you 36 crazy fists.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, so okay, so 36 crazy fists. What are your other picks?
Linkin
I was
Park.
going to say Linkin Park has to be in there, right?
Yeah.
I don't have four. I have one.
All right,
But
Link.
I think that Korn refuting the whole nu metal.
Nu metal.
Yeah.
Who, Korn.
Who doesn't
Deftones.
like
Deftones hate being called nu metal, but I'm sorry, guys, you don't get to pick your genre.
Yeah.
And look, and Chino, you should, if you think I'm wrong, you should email us and then come on the podcast and argue with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel
They say never meet your heroes, but I'd love to.
What's yours, Beth?
Probably a mixture of that. Limp Bizkit, 36 Crazy Fists, Linkin Park,
Sunk Loader.
Sunk Ladder, yeah. For sure.
Oh, we had Sunk Loader. Yeah, someone said Sunk Loader last week.
I feel like Finch are like a relatively unknown band from back in that time.
Ooh, okay, Finch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh.
All right.
Getting a good run here. Look, there is this clear standout.
There is,
You know?
like, I've got the numbers here, and it's like there's very clear front runners, but like we've said, the best part for us is there's, you know, 2 or 3 bands that everyone's putting in there, and so there's like, and then it kind of really tapers off to lots of 1 or 2 votes.
Aside from that too, I feel like as soon as you ask that question, my brain, it's anxiety. It's like categories. I need it to be categories. So like, But I've got questions instantly, so it's really hard to pick four.
Yeah.
And also, I'm shitty with genres and subgenres and stuff.
So this is the thing. This is why we asked the question as bands from the nu metal era. Okay, because realistically, a lot of bands that came up during that time were labeled as nu metal, at least at the time they were, because it was just this explosion of diversity in bands. And, you know, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. The video just went wonky for a minute. I apologize to those watching on YouTube. You would have had some wonky video there. I might try and fix that one up. But like, yeah, there was so many bands that just exploded from, you know, in doing so many different things. And, you know, you look at some of the bands that we listed there, right? Like, you know, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, Slipknot's been mentioned, System of a Down's been mentioned, like all these bands that at the time we just lumped them into nu metal, right? Because that's kind of, but they all sound, you know, you talk about like thrash bands, there's a lot of thrash bands sound very, very similar, right? I'm not gonna say they all sound the same before people get up me about it.
Well, there's a reason why it's a fucking genre, is because they all sound similar.
Yeah, but you say thrash and you say thrash and you can get an idea of what you're looking at, right? At the time, if you said nu metal, that could have meant a huge variety in sound.
Screaming.
Yeah, and like now it's come more to mean, you know, like down-tuned, you know, usually with an element of rap in there or whatever. But it's just, at the time, it didn't really have that. It was just like 1,000 different bands that sound nothing like one another, but because they are so distinct and have such unique sounds that no one's ever heard before, we kind of just have to lump them all together in this one thing. So, you know, and they all had varying, you know, their own influences on everything going forward too. You know, you look at a lot of bands and you're like, okay, well, that band's not going to exist without this band. And it's just such a, you know, I mean, it's easy to reminisce, right, about something that was 20 years ago now.
We were just doing that the other day. We were talking about the one of the Music Gods Awards. I think it was 2007. That MM9 played. Did you guys? You probably would have known. MM9 were huge, like in the circuit around the early.
I don't think I ever saw them. I just heard the name.
MM9 was, I'm pretty sure, the Butterfly Effect's other band, the singer's other band. Someone, and he played a keyboard live on stage with a whole bunch of pedals and shit. They were amazing. I saw them once.
Yeah. They were, so there's an EP of theirs that I still think is awesome, stands up today in my opinion, but there's a couple of songs in there like New Chemistry and Trains, Flies, they're all bangers, all of them, every single one on there. And we were just like, I was watching through like the old footage and stuff and I was like, man, it's so hard to believe that those memories that are still really alive, like in our heads, are so long ago now, so far behind us. But it was that era, like listening to MM9 and, you know, instant flashbacks of when, you know, playing shows like that, funnily enough in Canberra. Yeah. Where there was some folklore with advertising or something. Yeah. And it was just them, MM9, Unsaid and us. And just getting drunk and singing Bon Jovi and like these kind of memories don't seem that long ago, but man, it was what a time for the music scene back then.
Yeah, many machines on 9.
It messes with my head when I think about when certain albums came out and it was, you know, 15 years ago, and I'm like, it was 5 years ago, wasn't it? It's like, no, it's
don't look at any of Rob Zombie's catalogue.
Oh.
Or, you know, like you talk about like Coal Chamber, for example, right? Like, you know, we went to see them on the recent tour with Mudvayne. Well, I say recent, it was I guess it was a little while ago now, but a few months back. But when I got to go and see them, and they're talking about like, yeah, back when we started this band in like 1990 or whatever it was, and you're like, you guys started that fucking like that early? I had no idea they were like that early with shit. And just the roots of what became nu metal were even sown way further back. It didn't really explode until the late 90s. I guess. But no, that's awesome. Thank you for your contributions to that, guys.
You guys are awesome.
There's a lot of votes tallying up, and like I said, there's a few very clear front runners. Maybe what we might have to do is once we've got a bunch of numbers in there, we might have to sort of take the top, maybe the top 10 from the list and do an online poll or something and get people to rank them.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do the final 10. And then we'll
something like that, and get everyone to log on and vote.
We can do a big live
session and reveal at the end of the year when we do our end of year special live stream or something. All right. Well, before we let you go, is there anything else that you want that the people need to know, that people should be aware of that you got coming up? Anything specific any specific people you want to shout out?
I think just a shout out to Ash. Thanks for making this happen. All the guys at Lead Heavy, and yeah.
And our friends at Power Studios for helping out with the with our competition for the bus.
Congratulations of the birth of their baby.
Yay!
Oh, yay! Congratulations.
Huzzah! All right. Well, we are going to thank you everyone for watching. We're going to have a ton of links in the description about all the relevant stuff that we talked about today. So make sure you head down there and check those out. As we mentioned, Metal to the Max is taking place the October long weekend. That is the 5th and 6th out at the Mad Max compound at Silverton. So get your tickets now. If there's still spots available and you're going from Sydney, check out the competition from these guys, the ride, the van they were organising, because it'll make it a hell of a lot easier for you to get out there. Yeah,
we're going to be snaking around your campsites.
Yeah,
we're stalking around with the camera.
We're going to be hanging around, so absolutely make sure you guys come by the tent at some stage. We're probably going to have. We're just trying to collect the email addresses for all of the bands, and we're going to email out a list of interview times. Basically, what we're thinking is we're just going to have, like you play your set, and then like a couple of changeovers later, you come by the tent, basically. Because I think we're going to be nearish to the stage, so we won't be able to do interviews while bands are playing, but we want to utilize those changeovers and try and just have everyone have a scheduled time just to make things easier. But don't feel that you can only come by at your scheduled time. We're going to be in and out all day. We'll be walking around the site. It'll be amazing to see everybody. This is going to be a hell of a time. So thank you very, very much to everybody who has watched this episode or listened. If you're on the podcast feeds, you can go get them on the podcast feeds as well. Thank you very, very much to Antonamasia. It's awesome to see you guys again, and I cannot wait to meet you all in person and talk a shitload of wrestling.
Yeah. That's the bottom line.
It's going to be wrestling and anime all weekend. It's just going to be a massive nerd.
Oh, man. That's what we need to do, actually. We need to find like a regional company that operates, wrestling company that operates in that area, and have like add a wrestling ring to the event to put on some shows at some point.
I'll do a hardcore match.
Just no unprotected chair shots to the head, okay?
Guard wrestling with barbed wire, and I jumped off a fucking carport roof and went through a table with Trent from Firefly.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
I used to have a hardcore match. Man, there's a VCR of this match that we did in the backyard one time. Dude, it was filmed from another roof, so it was like a bird's eye view of it. It was so cool.
Oh, look, don't
try it at home.
I've got a barbed wire baseball bat from a Mick Foley costume from a couple of years back. That is literal, actual, honest to God, legitimate barbed wire wrapped around a baseball bat. So again, they're probably not going to let me bring that on the plane. But
give it to us. We'll take it.
But yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys taking your time to chat to us today. Thank you to my co-host, Kyle, a.k.a. the Beer Buddy. I have been the Reverend Raff. You all have been absolutely awesome, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you very much for watching today's video. We really hope you had a good time with us. If you did, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down there and ring that bell so you get notified of all the videos we've got coming out. And we do also have a Patreon. If you're interested, you can head on over there. You can get all the videos early and ad-free. So, a little bit of a benefit. It's only a couple of bucks a month. But if not, thank you very much for watching anyway, and we'll catch you guys next time.